Good afternoon.
Afternoon. I'm also recording right now, so everything we say can and will be used against us on the infamous YouTube.
Of course.
You know what? I'll just go ahead and say it. Have we got a video? This is what happens when you don't read the cue cards! What cue cards? Exactly!
All right, I forgot the cue cards.
And of course, we have our guest of honor today, Brass Polish, who has been waiting for this episode's release for how many years now?
Since 2018.
TF2, we've been round for years. Also, in case it wasn't obvious, I'm invading Dabrowski's personal space. How do I...
I'll admit I was suckered. I thought Will was doing an impression of you.
I want to see it now. I want to see Jasper trying to be Thespio and Thespio trying to be Jasper.
Live long and propane.
Okay. Me doing Thespio. And oral reports by Jasper Pie.
I'm yelling! This is me yelling! This is me projecting! Am I doing it? But yes, to catch people up, these past 2 months have been hell! By which we mean Jasper finally moved in with me and my wife in a brand new pad. Would you believe that we're still trying to put things in their proper place? Even though we just got into this new place like about a month ago.
I look forward to the day we can play back the clips from Incredibles and say, I unpacked the last box.
Now it's official. Ha ha ha.
Yes,
Why do we have so
exactly.
much junk?
That's what I'm asking!
Ellie!
Is she joining us today?
Has she
I
ever?
messaged her yesterday asking if she would be able to join us today since it was her birthday this week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Happy birthday!
Her significant other and her are going to do some birthday stuff today. So
Curse you, valid excuse! So again, it's probably been mentioned earlier, but Brass, you said you had this idea since 2018. Again, sorry we got to it so late.
It was at the penultimate BronyCon. I just dragged Joey to the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad Museum and back. And Joey was saying to me, he was encouraging me to try to come up with an idea where my character becomes an ancillary character in TF2 who drives the supply train. I knew there were trains as a map hazard in some locations, but I knew Coal Town wasn't one of them. The excuse I'm making is it's a desert railway. To get the upkeep of desert railways is a nightmare, so anytime they're not plot relevant, the rails in and out of Coal Town are just covered in sand.
I mean, on the bright side, you'll never lose traction.
Charming.
Once again, this whole broadcast has been brought to you by Sam. It's everywhere. Get used to it.
The night before, Finn told some of us about his tight budget idea, so I had that on the brain. And I thought back to the last time we introduced an ancillary character, that being Abby Rhodey, where her character was trying out for the spy, didn't get it, but stayed on in a auxiliary capacity. I didn't want to do the same thing, so I thought I'd flip that around. Have my character start out in an ancillary capacity, but due to a misunderstanding and a breakdown of communication, the red team thinks he's trying out for what was at the time a vacant spot on the blue team. And I distinctly remember Josh saying, change of mind, tight budget, and red versus green will have to come after the red versus blue arc. And I'm like, well, that won't work. By then, all the slots of the blue team will be filled.
You'd like to think so!
So yeah, I thought if we're still reeling from Tighty Whitey's not spending spree, then my character's outfit, which is just a pair of blue overalls, could be mistaken for a cheap replacement. I think there's only one steam engine in the actual TF2 game.
There is. I got killed by it once.
I personally thought it was really neat to have it be Ellie be the one to have another role. I feel like aside from Witch Fairy Witch, I think it's cool that we're giving her a little more of a presence instead of just keeping her to the sidelines.
I very specifically wanted the story to follow her at first. One of the first things I made for the show was her frying pan.
Oh yeah, that's right, because some time ago we invited you on to be our prop vector artist.
And Ellie just kind of offhandedly mentioned that at some point she'd like to swap out what's supposed to be the Pyro's secondary weapon, a tomahawk, for a frying pan.
You know what? That is a good point. I don't think we've ever seen you with the melee. It's usually just Ronaldo, and then we have Maddie brandishing her Highlander sword as her secondary.
Which I should point out, the soldier normally doesn't carry that. Just
Well, the
saying.
Claymore?
Yeah.
Oh, no, wait. I forget. Didn't we introduce a shovel to Jasper in Red vs. Blue in his fight against Silver?
Kinda. I didn't know if that was official or just a gag, though.
Because I know a shovel is an option for the soldier's melee weapon.
Doesn't he hit the spy in the face and meet the shoulder with that thing?
I think so.
Going back to the video, I remember when the script first popped up thinking, oh god, am I gonna have to like animate this train moving around? But then it turned out I didn't need to worry at all because a lot of this episode is just focused on Ellie and Brass, not the train.
Also with this video, I don't recall us ever discussing what we're going to do with the thumbnail. Who made this?
Me.
The one? Oh, you. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Doc needed something for a thumbnail for the early access on Patreon.
Oh, right. That is a thing we have now.
Because give us money.
I've actually been seeing a few comments try to make predictions of like, is there going to be a green team, or is Thespio going to put the mask back on again for a third time or something? What is this greeny business?
Oh man, I kept confusing this episode with Green Inferno. So I kept mixing these two up. At one point, Red versus Green, I thought that was Green Inferno.
I was trying to be poetic with the title.
It's because I'm green, isn't it? I will say, I don't think I have anything relatively new that's been added effects-wise to this video. It's more like everything that I've learned previously has come together, and I found new shortcuts to make it less tedious. Like I discovered coding commands in my software that allow me to repeat or loop an animation sequence without having to recopy the animation itself or recopy frames. It's like, oh, did you know there's this little magical code that says loop out? Where you don't have to repeat the frames over and over and copy and paste over and over throughout the entire layer. You could just say, loop this animation. That just saved 20 minutes of hello.
I noticed up until this point all the run cycles were side profile, but in a couple of cases in this episode, we get some modifications to those with Doc at the beginning and Jasper about midway through.
Yes, I've made some new run cycles. Frontal, and lately I do have quarter run cycles as well as the side. I have yet to do a quarter or frontal one of Doc or Daga because they are a lot more challenging. But yes, I am capable of doing frontal run cycles now for everybody.
1 minute left.
Panic!
Technically 2.
And may it never be taken away again.
Takes it away.
No. Why isn't the video starting? Start!
I don't know. I'm refreshing the thing and it's still not. There. Look, we're flying and there's a rainbow. Oh yeah, I have premium, so I don't get adverts.
I have ad block, so ha ha ha.
We're on a TV show. Ha 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 ha.
I also have the video muted for some reason. Ha 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 ha.
Also, based on this loading screen, I don't think that was paprika in those brownies.
If anyone can name that tune.
And the intro kind of got me going.
I recognize the music and I know why, but the name of the thing escapes me right now.
Equestria guy got it in the chat.
I don't
Oh,
see
Dr. Beaching.
Block cycles get
Run
block
cycles!
cycles!
Whoa there, alpha male.
I can't believe she called Doc an alpha male.
Which means
I'm gonna need you to brush your mouth out, Mary.
This works so well because last time she had the mic taken off her and that didn't go well.
Yeah.
She's still salty about that.
Be a lot more playful with the puppet tool.
Yeah, you're getting a little experimental with extra head movements and such.
There, you got to fully animate again. Are you happy now?
Oh yeah, this was like my relief from Tight Budget. It's like, yes, let me play!
This line was tricky. I don't remember what I had to say originally. It was something vague. And somebody threw out fired. And I was like, well, that doesn't work because then Mary Sue would just contradict her. But then it hit me, that's an accidental pyro pun. So they're both distracted by that. So there's no follow-up. Little did I know what Daga's temporary absence, mistaken for a permanent absence, how much weight that would hold.
Oh, the chat's going nuts on that too. They're like, what did you do to Ty, guys?
A and Y's gone, Key's gone, Silver's gone, and
I'm
now
gone
Ty's
mentally.
gone?
There he is.
He's a lumberjack and he's okay.
I get it, because he's Canadian.
Sure, let's go with that.
I think Ellie says in this episode, is he just as Canadian as Tyandaga?
Yeah, but he doesn't wear it all over his signature weapon.
I've had this character 9 years. Here he is, walking and talking.
There you go.
How does it feel? Hopefully I did him justice.
Looks like enough people in the chat know who he is. I was thinking, I'm relatively unknown, especially compared to you lot. So I imagine a lot of the audience would be right there with Ellie. This was a hard scene to rewrite, because like I said, this was written before our New Year's resolution. Originally, this was going to be Silver Quill, my character, Startles, and he was going to lay an egg in fright.
I also wish to get a little more experimental with what you do with wings. Not just, having them used for flying, but having them as extra prehensile limbs.
I need to give that credit to Brass. The biggest thing about his design when I first inherited his vectors and examined them before I made my own was that he's got a lot of wing vectors, and they're like hand expressive. And then it dawned on me, oh yeah, Pegasus could do that with their wings. In the show we could.
This just is my character. My character just has absolutely no attention span. This bit was inspired by our Brett Butt stand-up bit, where he got whacked in the face by a frying pan, and from then on, breakfast looked like him. In story, Firebrand could have cleared this up, but instead he's incapacitated, and right here it looks like the tension's been defused. Really, I just wanted to make this joke. I think this scene suffered the most from the rewrite, because apart from Duck and Firebrand, the red team's been whittled down from 7 to 4, so they can't effectively surround my character like they were originally intended to. And the only way they could look threatening is by grouping them together, which unfortunately drives home how few of them left there are. And this was originally going to be Ink Rose, who took my backtracking, big-headed comment the wrong way, because she was a stalwart.
I still say it gets across because while you're unarmed, you are clearly a civilian. You have no way to defend yourself. You're up in the air. You're like, uh-oh, duck hunt time. I'm just glad I was able to pull this off, the part where he falls into a pile of ash. And I'm like, oh, good, that came out just fine.
So, does that mean Brass is gonna reincarnate because he's secretly a phoenix?
He's a great phoenix, awesome.
And then I'm sure Golden Fox would be like, hey, that's my stick!
So yeah, the blue team knows, because Jasper recommended my character, and so he told them. Doc was going to delegate the task of telling the rest of the red team to Ellie, but that went wrong.
Someone in the chat is like, Maddie, if you could kill Mary Sue, please. Really, you don't know how Mary Sue works. She is unkillable. That's why she can't be on a team.
I want to touch its smoke box.
You want to burn your hoof?
You mean more than usual?
Yeah, you were saying something about like the transition to the locomotive based on some like from the 60s or something like that.
Yeah, if you don't recognize it from Captain Scarlet and the Mysterons, you might recognize it from episode 28 of Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged.
Oh, okay. That's why it looked familiar.
This is a little unfair because I'm also disturbed by frogs, but I'm used to them. I spent like half my life fishing them out of our pool.
I don't know if this is purely a character choice for Ellie or if she legitimately feels this way, but I think she does have a legitimate fear of frogs.
Oh yeah, she does. Yes, she doesn't like frogs. They're very scary.
Okay, got it.
If you were confused by Tyandaга's walk up until now, this should explain it.
Yeah. No, seriously, people were giving me a headache about Tyandaga's walk cycle. I've actually fixed it since then.
I kind of figured that was just how deers walked.
That is a natural gait of a deer, yes, but that's kind of the problem because Tyandaga is a pastel magical deer, and we're in a parody series, so don't go too realistic on the walk cycles here, apparently.
Doc's trying not to look guilty. Oh, watch what happens when Tyandaga turns his head.
Well, I couldn't help but overhear the talk of me
That's a great bit.
replaced.
Not happening.
Oh! Oh! How did I not see that?
What? What am I? Oh. There's not much I can do about that.
This is a hard scene audio-wise because you got the steam engine hissing in the background and you don't really want to hiss when you're dealing with dialogue and stuff.
Actually, the hardest thing for me editing this scene was keeping lip sync with Ellie while she was shaking the whole time.
The line, ooh, my favorite, was originally going to be Silver Quills, but giving it to Ari worked out so much better.
I will say, like, when it came to polishing audio, trying to keep everything balanced, like, with the locomotive hissing and with Ellie shaking and all that, yeah, it was a little difficult, but I think I got it to at least a manageable level.
Oh no, it's over!
Oh no, it's over.
I know!
It's over! It was shorter than what we usually do.
Yeah, I really champion brevity when it comes to writing stories.
I think we got into a habit where we tried to, like, cram as many jokes as we could.
I am especially guilty of this.
I mean, 22, 24 minutes is about the length of an MLP episode, so I'm not complaining.
Fair.
But Doc probably does because he doesn't like me overworking, so yeah.
I am trying to keep things manageable. I am trying.
But yeah, now Brass is officially the part of the team and not just working behind the scenes.
Thanks for this, everyone. I appreciate it.
Thank you for all the work you put in all these several years, making Blissy's job a lot easier.
Thank you!
It's been fun,
Sanity, what
and
is?
I'm sure it'll carry on being fun.
Anything else you wanted to say when it came to what just premiered?
I can't believe it happened.
Sure, we could definitely put both your character and October to good use for future stuff. I know we already might have an idea for future. That's cooking.
We're cooking with
Yeah.
gas. We just started a grease fire.
And you'll notice it's all the audio editors.
But, yep, glad to see your character finally aboard.
Ah, that was great fun.
That was not intentional!
That was
Yeah.
a great pun for
I
shame,
swear that was not
dishonor,
intentional!
dishonor on you, dishonor on your cow.
I mean it. That was not intentional, but I'm going to the corner now.
I will join you.
Glad it came out. Glad we were able to do it justice with what you wrote, Brass. And as far as next time, hold on to your butts.
Thank you all once again for making this possible. Big thanks to the patrons who continue to support us through these many years. And, as always, we look forward to hearing from the fans who enjoy watching our content after nearly 10 years of this series running.
Yeah.
My gosh, 10 years?
Almost 10 years.
I reiterate, TF2, we've been on for years.
Bye,
Bye.
bye, bye, bye!